Hey guys, so today I'm going to be looking at people reveal their why did I say that moments. So yeah, let's just get right into the video. My ex said at the dinner table I had a slight webbing on my toe. How do you get that? In front of her entire family, aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents. I instinctively said inbreeding. Forks dropped and they all just stared at me. Oh my gosh. They should have cleared it up after. Did they just say, ha, just kidding. 5th grade in school, about 300 kids in the auditorium for a DARE presentation. A speaker started off by having all of us scream, why? Whenever he would say a statement and then ask us, do you know why? Fast forward mid-presentation and he asked, do you know why again? I screamed, why? So hard it could be heard in the cafeteria. Nobody else did. Nobody else did? That's the worst. You know when the person is like, say cheese, and you're like, cheese, but no one says cheese. Okay. I work in a hospital. I was taking a patient for an x-ray. The patient was in a wheelchair. Me, I suck at steering these things. I'll try not to drive you into a wall. Patient had just spent 6 weeks in bed seriously injured after driving into a wall. Like, did they know about it, or was that such a coincidence that they said it? That is actually offensive. As the patient, I would feel like that is so rude. You know, because for the patient, it might feel like the person is making fun of them. On the morning of my wedding, the 3rd time I'd met my soon-to-be mother-in-law, I was understandably jittery about the day. Probably not at the top of my game. So I warmly greeted her by saying, hi Linda, it's so good to see you. She's quiet for a moment and then says, actually it's Laura. I knew it was Laura. I have no clue why I called her Linda. I was mortified and felt like I had only one way out of the situation. I replied after a pause, no, I'm pretty sure it's Linda. Why did they say that? Why? They should have just been like, oh my bad. I do feel like when you're embarrassed about something, you don't think straight and you just answer weird. Can you imagine arguing with someone about their name? At my friend's wedding, which I was standing up in, I walk into the bathroom which has 1 or 2 more men in it than there are stalls and urinals for. My friend says, I guess I'll use the handicap stall, since it was unoccupied, but apparently he wasn't sure that he should use it. Without missing a beat, I said, that's okay, it works for mentally handicapped people too. It was at that point that I realized that it wasn't my friend who said it, just some guy I didn't know who was in his 40s or 50s. Silence. I quickly go into the other store, which someone had just exited, pissed as fast as possible, and left without washing my hands so I could get out of there before the other guy left the handicap store. It would have been okay if they said it to their friend because, you know, people joke, but like to someone random, that just means you judge them by their look. Oh my goodness. Like the guy's just gonna be like, what? I look like I'm mentally handicapped? How dare you? Interview for an administrator in a doctor's surgery. Seems to be going well. Getting through the majority of questions, no issues. No real concerns about my experience or work history. And they seem pleased with what I'm saying. Just 3 or 4 more questions and the interview would be over. Interviewer, this job can be very stressful. What do you do to release stress? Me, I've always felt less stressed after I've had sex. The interviewer and his assistant completely lost it and burst into laughter. The interview effectively ended there and then. And no, I did not get the job. I thought they would have gotten it. Honestly, I thought they would have gotten the job. Okay, fine. They should have played it off as like, oh yeah, see, I made you laugh. See? I can be the stress reliever in the company. Back in 7th grade, a teacher called on me to answer a question. I guess I was a little sick at the time because I needed to clear my throat, yet decided against it because people might think I'm gross or something. As you can probably guess, that didn't work out well and I sounded like a chronic smoker. Then, finally, after trying my hardest to nonchalantly clear my throat, I announced to the class, sorry, I have a speech defect. I do not. Oh, why? I feel like overthinking is just such a big problem. They probably overthought, you know, they were like, people might think I'm gross or something, but who hasn't cleared their throat before, huh? My husband, he was out drinking with his friends. A girl comes up to him asking if he wants to dance. What he means to say is, I only dance when I'm drunk and I'm still sober. But what he actually said was, I'm not drunk enough to dance with you. I wasn't even there, and I can feel that poor girl's self-esteem drop every time he tells the story. How dare he say that? Oh. That's just like saying, yeah, right now I'm too sober and you don't look too good, so wait till I'm drunk so that you look good to me. When they once announced our librarian, horrible lady, had passed away over the PA, my brain faded and I accidentally said, looks like she finally got our library to be quiet. Oh. Whoa. Oh my gosh. I once complimented a girl I know on her cute outfit and asked where she got it. She named a plus-size store. For whatever stupid reason, I replied, really? I need to gain a bunch of weight so I can shop there. I immediately realized what I had said, and we looked at each other for a moment, looked away, and sat in uncomfortable silence for the rest of the class because I'm a jerk. This is why you should always think before you say anything. Honestly, but sometimes you're so nervous you just don't think. This was about 12 years ago. I was chatting with two female colleagues during lunch break. When the break was almost over, I wanted to ask, shall we go back to work? Instead, for some reason, I asked, shall we go to bed? My face instantly turned red. It was pretty awkward, but we all ended up laughing about it. They must have been sleepy, you know, they wanted to go to bed. In 5th grade, we were at an assembly where they told a story and would hold up cards for the audience to yell. When they held the card that said gasp, everyone gasped while I screamed the word gasp as loud as I ever screamed anything in my life. I didn't know this happened. Oh my gosh, I'm more amazed by the fact that this happens, you know? It's not genuine gasping. It's forced gasping? What? Co-worker's 8.5-month pregnant wife was strolling into the office when my 19-year-old mouth said, you're almost as big as your husband. Thought nothing of it until an hour later when my co-worker and I had a chat about hormones. You should never make a joke about someone's weight, you know. I worked at a restaurant that served fried pickles and it was one of our biggest sellers. I had two ladies come in and one says, oh my gosh, let's get fried pickles. Other lady says, you go ahead, I'll pass. No biggie. I order them and bring them out with 2 plates anyway. What I meant to say was, I brought 2 plates in case you change your mind. I know how delicious they are and they might call your name. What I actually said was, I brought 2 plates because I understand the call of the pickle. I understand the call of the pickle. The pickle told me to give himself to you. That's funny. At a funeral, got up to the coffin and asked the widow of the deceased, how are you? You know exactly how she is. Why would you ask such a thing? That's so awkward. Why would you make small talk like that at a funeral? You know what I mean? Just mourn with her, please. So I was at a group fitness class and the instructor was known for having weird exercises like bending and swinging one of your arms in a circle and calling it making soup. He gets really into it and asks the class what soup they were making. Chicken soup, tomato soup. He asked me and I panicked and said, water. Water soup. I'm making water, mate. Because I don't like to talk much with people that I don't know, I would hate this class. How dare you pick on me? I'm not in school anymore. Got let go from my job by the boss. Early that morning, he had chased a robber from his house. The firing was amicable. I understood why, but knew it sucked for both of us. Trying to lighten the mood when I walked out, I said, keep your doors locked. He did not think it was a reference to his earlier story. So he thought he was gonna rob him? At one point, I was having lunch with my then girlfriend. I asked if she wanted to say hi to her friend. She said she didn't see her. I pointed to her and asked, do you not recognize her bent over? To which she responded, do you? Oh, ooh, yeah, do you? Do you? I took my girlfriend to a very beautiful park and served her a gourmet picnic. After we finished, I nervously took her hand in mine and asked her to marry me. I mumbled, or her ears failed, or I don't know what happened, but she replied with, sure, whatever. Obviously missing what I had said. In my mind, I thought, you idiot, you screwed this up. But out of my mouth came the words, no, you idiot, I'm proposing. Yes, I called my wife an idiot as part of my marriage proposal. After that, I kind of blanked out until I saw her crying and saying yes and yes over again. Our 18th anniversary is coming up in the spring. Goals, okay? I want someone to call me an idiot too when they're proposing. That's funny. I have never responded well to random uncomfortable news. Once when I was in college, I was getting a haircut and asked how the stylist's day was going. She said her day was going well, but her dog died the night before. Without thinking, I said, think of all the money you'll save on dog food. Instant regret. It's one of those things that pops up into my head randomly as I try to sleep at night. Oh man. Oh. I can't imagine what I would feel like if someone said this to me. Like, I think I would cry on the spot. And X was explaining she was self-conscious about something, and it was slightly odd, and I intended to say something reassuring and comforting. What I actually said was, that's strange, of all things you could be self-conscious about. Her face dropped, and I realized immediately what I said and unsuccessfully tried to backtrack. Oh my gosh. He just told her that everything else he should have been self-conscious about. How dare he? Can you imagine someone telling you what they're self-conscious about, and then you're like, wait, why aren't you self-conscious about this and this and this? Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are, and as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!